Hey, Muso here. Today we're going to talk about scalars and vectors. Scalars and vectors. Two very big terms, very, very important terms. You got to make sure you get them down. They are essential in the basics of physics. So what is a scalar and what is a vector term? So a scalar term is any term that has just quantity associated with it, okay? Quantity only. We do not worry about direction. Okay, so a lot of times we'll say all we need to know is the magnitude of the information. We don't need to know the direction of the information. I'm going to give some better examples on that to help clarify what a scalar term is in a minute. A vector term is very similar sounding to a scalar term, but there is one crucial additional bit. It has both quantity and direction. That means we need to know both its magnitude and the direction. So the way it is going, if it's moving, or the direction it is pointed, if it's going to act on an object. So let's go through some examples here to try to clarify the difference. So for example, some common scalar terms would be terms such as mass, temperature, we've got time, distance, you have speed, energy. There's many more. With these guys, you don't need to know direction. We just need to know its value. So if I were to ask you how much mass an object was, you would say an object has a mass of 2 kilograms. You don't need to know, there is no direction associated with that, right? It doesn't have 2 kilograms to the left. If I were to ask you what is the temperature? The temperature outside is 22 degrees Celsius. There is no directional information that's needed. It is simply just quantity, okay? Whereas vectors, the quantity is not enough. For example, we could have things such as displacement, or velocity, or force, acceleration. We have others in here like momentum, more, weight. There's many more. We'll get into them throughout the year. These guys over here, they need directional information for it to make sense. I can't tell you the velocity of an object. I won't know the velocity unless I know its direction as well. Let's go this. If I were to tell you, say, head on the highway 65 miles an hour for 2 hours, okay? That 65 miles an hour isn't going to tell you much, right? If you went south and George went north and Sally went west for 65 miles an hour for 2 hours, you're not going to land in the same spot, right? So I need to tell you which way to go. I need to say head north on the highway for 65 miles an hour for 2 hours, etc. The details will make more sense as we kind of break down what each of these terms mean and we start to use them in equation and quantifiable format. Just recognize the biggest difference between scalar term and a vector term. Scalars absolutely only need quantity. Vectors, both quantity and direction. All right, that'll be it for this video. Thank you.